What's up, you guys? Chandler with OVGR, Ohio Valley Goon Riders. For those of you who don't know us, which is not many, we work on dirt bikes, four-wheelers, ATVs, cars. I've been off YouTube now for a while, but I don't have anything else going on, and I'm continuing to work on my passions. So I guess I'll just bring you guys along for the way, and I look forward to at least one video every single week, and maybe a couple more than that. And welcome back. Guys, so this is the first bike that we have in right now. It is a 2007 TRX 400EX with reverse. It does ride pretty good. It has an HMF pipe on it. As you can see, she does need a bath, but yeah, we got it for a pretty good deal. Picked it up for, I believe, we bought another 400EX, a 2000, one owner with a title, but it needed rings, and I was going to rebuild it, but a friend of mine, he had this bike, and he offered because he wanted the one owner one with a title and said he was going to fix it. So yeah, we made that trade, but realistically, we're only about $1,400 into the bike, and I figured when I clean it up and put it on Marketplace, it should go for anywhere from $2,000 to $2,500. So if you're in the Ohio area and you're looking for a nice 400, this is definitely the one. The only issue right now is, as you can see, pushing the button, nothing. But the bike does run. I'm thinking that the wires that connect for the solenoid came unhooked, and now it is no longer starting by the button. So you're going to catch me fixing that here in just a moment. Alright, so I'm going to tear this seat off, and I'm going to put these wires together. I'm going to see if they're unhooked, and hopefully this fixes the problem. Yep, looks like I found the culprit right here. Alright, let's see if that fixed our issue. Track choke, it's a little cold out today. Not sure what's going on right now. See if we can turn this up and see what happens. See if she'll crank back up. There we go. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see. A little bit of white smoke was coming out of the exhaust. I think it's just moisture from the bike not being started in so long. It's pretty cold out, but it cleared up pretty fast. get a video in of me riding this thing today. But we have other bikes to move forward to. Okay, so next up we have another 400EX. Same body style as the first one that we looked at. I believe this one is an 07. I picked it up on a deal actually with that one when I traded the other one back there for a 400EX. We had a Suzuki King Quad 750 here, and the guy just so happened to have this bike in the bed of his truck when he came to bring me that one over there. So he happened to like the King Quad that we had, and we ended up making a deal. He gave me $1,500 and this bike right here for the Suzuki King Quad. So you know, it was a pretty fair deal. Nobody really got up on either one. We were asking $3,000 for the King Quad, and this bike does run, but it smokes like a sieve, and I believe it needs a new solenoid or a new start button up here, because it does not crank by the button. So if you hit it by the solenoid, it will fire up and run, but as I said, it smokes. But I've had so many of these 400EXs. I have a brand new cylinder, piston, Cometic gaskets, everything to put in it to fix this bike, and then it should be good to go just like that one. And then we can also get this sold to a happy customer as well. But I will do a quick startup for you guys. I won't run it long because I don't want to damage the top end more than it already is, so we definitely won't be riding it, but I will show you a video of it starting. All right, you guys. So yeah, let's get this thing working so you guys can see what we're working with. As I said, I don't know if you can see that, but the start button does not work. Does not work. But put on this choke here. It is cold out. So as you can see, it does run, but as you can also see, yeah, she needs rings. You can smell that oil. That ain't no moisture, no fuel. That's oil. Yeah, she's gonna need a rebuild. So yeah, you guys will see a rebuild on this bike done on this channel. I promise you guys that. I'm not gonna disappear on you guys this time. We're gonna get this guy done. All right, so, and now, yeah, that was the 400EX, well, the second 400EX, and now we're gonna move on to these three YFZ450s that we have in here. Okay, so we're gonna address this 2008 YFZ450 first. I will put in a clip of this running and a video in the video before what has happened to it. So yeah, I picked this bike up in Steubenville, Ohio. I got a pretty good deal on it. It didn't have spark. I was able to get it running after it didn't have spark, and it ran perfect. Ran perfect. Didn't burn any oil. Had great power. Never had a problem with it. Well, I posted it on Facebook Marketplace, and a guy that I had done business with before, I sold a 2400EX to. He decided he was interested in the bike because he wanted to ride with his son. So he came and looked at it, and you know, he got on it, he rode it, it had a lot of power, he loved the bike. So we made a deal because I knew the guy. I sold it to him for $2,200. And around here in Ohio, that's a relatively good price for riding YFZ. Well, he got it home and he started riding it. And it looks like part of what happened is, as you can see right there, the cap for the flywheel cover, or the stator cover, that was missing when he brought it back, and the bike was covered in mud because obviously he'd been riding it. And he told me that the engine blew up. And at first I didn't really believe him. I thought that maybe, it might have been user error, or maybe it wasn't starting because of something he did. Well, most people, they would block them or whatever, disappear and tell them that it's their problem. Well, I mean, I know the bike ran perfect when it left. He knew it ran perfect when it left. He didn't have any complaints beforehand. But, I don't like to do business, the dirty way. I like to keep things on the up and up. So I was a nice enough guy to tell him, you know what, buddy, come on, go ahead, bring the bike back. I'm not going to pay for the bike back because of the damage that was caused when you had it. But the least I could do is if the top end's bad and not the bottom end's bad, then I could at least rebuild the bike for you, buddy, if you get the parts. So then we agreed to that. So he brought it back. I was figuring for sure that the bottom end would be bad because he lost that cap and all the oil got drained out. But he brought it back, and the bottom end is actually good. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's no up and down play. It moves back and forth. I think the bike might be in gear so it doesn't go back, but it moves, and it doesn't have any up and down play. So yeah, that bottom end should be okay. We're gonna have to flush that bottom end out to make sure there's no metal shavings or anything down there. But the top end is where the catastrophe happened. So right here, this is the piston that was in it. The piston that came out of the bike. As you can see, I tried to recognize the numbers because I thought it was a high compression piston, but yeah, it's unrecognizable, and this piston is absolutely destroyed. Whenever I took it apart, the C-clip that went in here to hold the wrist pin on, that C-clip was gone, and this one was still there, so I was able to just push the wrist pin right out, and with no circlip. So I'm thinking either A, the circlip caused this, B, maybe it dropped the valve, or C, when he lost that cap, he had no oil in it. You guys can let me know what you think. But this is the cylinder that came off of the bike. As you can see, it is basically destroyed. It's unrepairable. This valve broke off and is stuck in there, and it's grooved out that valve seat, and this valve's bent, and this valve's bent. So there is no repairing this head. It is done for. Well, I have other YFZs and other parts. So I had another head here that the cam bolts, as you can see right here, these bolts, they were stripped out on the other head that I had, but the other head had good valves and good cams and everything. So he offered to buy that head for me, and he took the head to the local shop, Myers Motorsports in Zanesville, Ohio, and he's gonna see if he can get these bolts rethreaded, and if he can get them to work, then I will be reinstalling the head that he has back on this bike. And he ordered new piston ring cylinder, so I will be doing the whole top end on it. So as for now, this project is just kind of on the back burner until we get all the parts, so I can assemble it for him. Okay, and this is another cylinder I got. I got it with, it's got two bent valves, but the cylinder itself, well, the cylinder head itself is still in good shape. So I figure if I replace the valves, that this will still be usable. But yeah, I guess that's all on the 2007 until we get the rest of the parts. Okay, here is the next YFZ450. This YFZ is a 2009 carb model, came with a title. It looks like, or at least from what the guy told me, that this bike had the same failure that bike had. And I can show you here up close what it looks like. He claims that the rod may be bent, but if you look here, you can see everything. And actually, this is the first time I'm seeing this. So that rod is definitely bent and it is toast. That whole engine's toast. So, yeah, unfortunately, that bottom end can't be saved. This is the first time I'm seeing it, just the same as you're seeing it. But luckily, he was nice enough to give me this bottom end with the cases and all. And this rod bearing is good. No up and down play, little side to side, but that's okay. And it does indeed turn over completely. As you can see, but the piston is in the way. But it does work. It does work. So, and I plan on keeping this bike right here. So in the future, whenever I get around to fixing this, I do have another good bottom end. And he gave me this bottom end right here. That is also good. And it does not have any play in the rod as well. Along with, he gave me extra cases, 2 extra cylinders, another extra case, stator cover, all those things. And then this is the head that came with this bike, along with another head, the one with the strip bolts that I sold to the guy with this bike who was going to use it to possibly fix this. So this bike is going to be on the back burner for a while. As we get more parts in the future, we'll assess where it's going to go and I guess how soon it gets done. But it will probably be a little while. So you'll see this a lot in the next upcoming videos. Okay, last but certainly not least, the 2004 YFZ450. We went and picked this up down in Marietta, Ohio. And the bike is overall in great condition. You can see it's got brand new tires in the front and the back. The guy said that he replaced the stator. As you can see, brand new wires, brand new gasket. He replaced the stator. He put a whole brand new wiring harness on the bike. He said that he just recently shimmed the valves. He did just about everything you could check. He said the bike runs, but it cuts out, almost like if you're riding and the bike would be on choke. So it doesn't have any oil in it right now from replacing the stator cover. He never tried to start it or put oil back into it after he did that. So what I'm thinking is here, I'm going to put some oil in this bike, and also the starter clutch needs fixed. So I'm going to fix that. I'm going to get it cranking over. It does have compression, or at least it feels like it does by hand. And I'm going to get it started and try to get it running properly. My guess is that it's something with the TPS system not allowing it, to fully rev out, or the carburetor know where the slide's at. So I'm thinking this should be an easy fix as long as it runs when I put the oil in it and it doesn't give me any other issues. But as far as everything else, it looks like he really maintained it and took good care of it. The carrier bearing's good, everything's tight. It's got aftermarket full flight A-arms in the front, so it definitely has a lot of potential. And yeah, I'm going to get to working on that, and you guys should see that coming up in a later video. I already did this once, but the camera cut out, and super muggy out here, super muddy. I was already out here once, and we're going to take the 2007 Ford RDX for a spin, just to get some content for the channel. So yeah, let's do this one more time. time.